Time now to get an important management in M&M on our Rise with India theme to talk about the business prospects that there are with especially the rural markets and their focus and investments going into e-vehicles. Who better than Mr. V.S. Parthasarathy joining us this moment, Chief Financial Officer of Mahindra Mahindra, to take us through the group's strategy. Mr. Parthasarathy, it's great to have you on the show. Thanks very much. As we celebrate the Rise with India theme, M&M's also come a long way from manufacturing MUVs and Willy Jeep to being a pioneer of EVs in India. Talk to us about the growth trajectory in the last 4 to 5 years, given the numerous reforms we've seen and the various developments that have taken place at the company's end.
We have had a huge amount of growth that we've seen. I could kind of say that overall, over 20 years, we have grown 42 times in terms of our market cap. Our share value has doubled multiple times during the period. And last 10 years would have been equally impressive. At a point in time of F13, if you take till F13, the growth on top line was about 21% CAGR over a 20-year period, and the growth in bottom line was about 26% over a period of 20 years, not 1 year, 2 years. So that's the kind of growth that India was able to, give opportunity for us, and Mahindra with his auto and farm business grabbed it with both hands and then led by other businesses. Last 4 or 5 years for the industry has been more subdued. If you take the top 100 or 200 company, the top line and bottom line are about 2% or 3%. Yeah, so roughly that. M&M as a group on both the top line and bottom line, I think is about 12% on the top line and 10% on the bottom line. So that kind of thing. So we've had growth higher than the industry peers. And a decent growth, but we are hoping that the future will bring once again the big jump in terms of growth.
Right. The agri-equipment continues to be the backbone for the company right now. And this time especially, tractor sales have zoomed quite a bit. What do you think led to this kind of growth? Was it festive demand led, or was it inventory piling up by dealers?
Tractors have been on the, had some 2 years of dull growth, and I think there is a pent-up demand, and also as more and more productive assets are coming in and the productivity norms are going up, I think there is a pent-up demand which all is coming through, and the season is helping, and the fact that September this time is better than the September of last year from a festivity point of view. Yeah, so all of them put together, we are seeing a very good growth in September, and I think through the festive season of October it should do well. November is a relative question, whether it will be the same kind of big numbers as in September, October may not be, but year on year it still should be good, because last year was the demonetization impact in November. So I see the next 2 or 3 months doing very well for both the tractor and the auto industry.
Mr. Parthasarathy, the great driver for your business has been rural market. What do you think, or what really could come from that leg of the business?
Some of the things which really has worked well is our working with the farmers, either through what we call as the Mahindra Samriddhi, which is a way to connecting with farmer, understanding their crop, their patterns, helping them with soil testing, etc., or going higher up, which is in terms of being ready, because we knew there was an upswing coming. There was a pent-up demand which will come. So right from the start of this year, we have seen that positive momentum, and we've been there with the right kind of inputs, added to it the right kind of products, that as we said that we launched 2 platforms, one above 50 horsepower and one 30 to 50 horsepower, both of which has now full stream come into the market. Obviously that gives a lot of product and features to the customer. We launched a 4-wheel drive tractor for the first time in India, so that's further adding to the benefit. And that along with our spread and knowledge of the farmer and the marketplace is clearly helping us grow in line with market and most of the time much ahead of the market.
Right, Mr. Parthasarathy, reports suggest that M&M plans to double global revenue from farm equipment to $5 billion by 2019. Now, one would think that, the string of pearls strategy that you followed would perhaps, help in reaching that target. Would that also pave the way for more or inorganic expansion, using acquisitions as the way to really expand in that segment?
I've been looking, that India, and I want to connect this to Rise with India that we've been talking about. Prime Minister Modi has been talking about doubling farmer income, and that can happen if we do farm productivity much better along with processing ability in the rural area. Now, in terms of farm tech, productivity will come with the tractor and precision implements and other solutions that can come. So the key thing we have to look at is how do we manage to get them to India. So we got to get assets around the world which can help us through what they have gone through plus what they are already developing synergy with India to bring those technologies into India. For example, take rice transplanter. Rice transplanter has been doing very well in many parts of the world, especially Japan. We needed to get it to India and get it at a price point which is very suitable for Indian farmers. So that's what we, as one example, we have done. So we have to do many of this, and for this we need some bit of, what I call a pearl of strings.
Okay, fair point. Mr. Parthasarathy, on the EV side, the market believes that you're much ahead of the peers. Update us on what the development is in the EV space, the opportunity size and the potential that you're seeing in this segment.
We've been at it for now 7-8 years and selling vehicles as I've talked about. But as more and more support and infrastructure comes in this place, then the growth trajectory will grow, and I see that growing very rapidly. Okay, it has taken some time for it to take off, but I think everyone now sees, with including government focus, that is on the cusp of takeoff. And as it grows, it should grow many-fold every year for some years to gain some bit of good volume, and that's what we are seeing. It may still take some time for the thing to kick in very clearly. It will not be like next month onwards it will be 20% of overall market of cars, but over a period it should start to make a percentage dent into it, and that will be very good for the EV industry. So that's the opportunity. Our opportunity is very big and will be a significant portion of vehicles which will be sold in the very long run.
What will be the investment size of your EV business? M&M is already making in this field an investment of nearly 12,000 crore. I mean, that's a sizable commitment, isn't it?
I don't want to put a value in front of you right now, because this is, as you understand, confidential information, not just from our point and what I have not disclosed, but also from it's a competitive intelligence point of view. But you can say we have adequately invested in the past, and we will only be stepping up the investments in future.
Mr. Parthasarathy, the last question to you then would have to be about the viability of e-vehicles in India, because you've been part of the debate. You know what's been happening on that front. Yes, there's potential of huge revenue accruing for the sector, but there's a lot of investment required as well. And to top it all, what's most important is, given the infrastructure challenges, understanding the consumer behavior in this regard, there is also that need of understanding whether these projects are viable and profitable. And on that particular aspect, what are your thoughts? Because at the end of the day, that's the bottom line.
As many people put it, it doesn't use fuel, and there are fewer running parts in it, fewer moving parts. So the overall the running cost of it will be lower. So if you put a lifetime value, even today, it is commercially justified. The second thing is that the battery costs have been coming down tremendously, and as we localize, then we should be, as a company, very clear that our Mahindra Electric, we kept it as a separate company because we believed there is a clear long-term viability and we can make money out of it. The third portion is that can you make money at very small volumes? It is always going to be difficult, and which is where today the cusp comes. As the volume starts to ramp up, for the company it will be clearly a viable proposition. You will have to invest for some time, but I think there are returns both for India and M&M in this process. So I'm again connecting the rise with India and Mahindra rise together in this story.
Mr. Parthasarathy, thanks very much for taking out the time to speak with us this morning. We really appreciate your views and your insights as always.